If you're someone who has been stuck in life for a long time, whether it's your wealth, health, relationship, or happiness situation, this video is going to be the wake-up call for you to do something about it. Now, if you're someone who has been stuck for a long time, then the chances are that you're going to be stuck for another 5, 10, or even 20 years if you do nothing about it. Or in some cases, you might be stuck for the rest of your life, as is unfortunately the case with many people. You know, change won't happen to you unless you make it happen. If you ignore this wake-up call now, then chances are you're not gonna get another one for a long time. In this video, I'm going to help you stop wasting any more time by first helping you become aware of the psychology behind why you're stuck right now. And after that, I'll give you 5 practical tools you can start applying today to get your life unstuck. These are all tools that productive and successful people take for granted, but for whatever reason, you haven't even considered. So make sure you stick until the end of the video. Now, I know the pain of being stuck very well. My life used to be at a standstill ever since I graduated high school. I used to stay at home every day, didn't have any friends, didn't have a girlfriend, and I spent all my time playing video games. Eventually I got fed up being stuck and I decided to do something about it. And I studied psychology meticulously. I read many books about the topic and took on expensive coaching. And now I'm going to share the gold nuggets of what I learned and exactly what I did to get unstuck. But let's first begin with the psychological reasons to understand why you're stuck in your life in the first place. One of my favorite books when it comes to psychology is The Expectation Effect. This book goes in depth into how your brain is a powerful prediction machine, and it explains the fundamental reason why you're stuck in life. You see, the reality that you're currently experiencing is not the objective reality. It is actually the brain's simulation of the present moment, constructed based on your past, your identity, and signals from your senses. And what your brain really does is it predicts the future based on the past and the physical sensations. Now, the gold nugget to understand here is that being stuck is a pattern that your brain predicts. Right now, in your brain, there's an unconscious prediction for the future where you stay stuck. But why does the brain do this? Well, it's because of evolution and survival. Your brain has evolved to predict the future, to repeat old patterns, to stay safe, to survive in conditions that are unsafe. But in the modern society, this is really unnecessary. And frankly, the brain's survival mechanism is an overkill. It's doing more harm than good in the modern society. Now, the great thing about understanding this is that if you can accurately predict a future that is safe, then your brain must also have the power to create a future where you are successful, where you're going forward in life. But how can you alter these unconscious patterns? That's where another great book comes into play. It's Letting Go by David R. Hawkins. And what this book teaches us is that all these unconscious patterns can be let go of. These patterns are actually stored into feelings in your physical body. You see, thoughts, beliefs, and reactions, they are all the mind's interpretation of physical sensations going on right now. Physical sensations that are triggered by external events. And when you release those feelings through a technique known as letting go, the old patterns of the mind will also vanish. However, if you're doing what you're currently doing, which is resisting feeling specific feelings in your body, you're actually keeping these old patterns alive. You're storing them. Now, since these old patterns are driven by resisting the sensations and the feelings in your body, the attempts that you make to change your life end up actually reinforcing the patterns. You can think of it in a way that if you're reacting to a problem, then that problem must exist. So you don't really change old patterns by trying to solve them. You actually change the old patterns by processing the underlying feelings behind them, the emotions that you're avoiding feeling right now. So let's take a quick recap of what we have learned so far. Being stuck is a result of your brain predicting a future where you are stuck. Your brain is doing this to maximize your chances of survival, but this is an overkill in the modern day. These patterns are really not stored in the brain. The brain is just interpreting feelings in the body. The old patterns are kept alive by resisting the feelings, and feeling the feelings actually processes them and dissolves the old patterns. So next, I'm going to give you 5 practical steps that you can start following today to start getting your life unstuck. And the first step is to learn to notice when you're going on autopilot mode. To process any feelings, you have to first become aware of them. And what your mind usually does is it suppresses your awareness when there are unpleasant feelings present in your body. Now, this leads to behaviors that you might be very familiar with, like escapism to consuming content, like TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. It can lead to emotional eating or numbing the feelings with substances such as alcohol, tobacco, or even drugs. Now, the very first step is to become aware of when this happens. So start to pay attention to when you're drifting to that automatic autopilot mode, when you're losing consciousness because there's unpleasant sensations going on inside. The second step is to learn to face the unconscious sensations rather than escaping them. The moment you notice these sensations arising, stop for a second, and instead of reacting to them, instead of escaping or numbing them, just sit with them for a moment. Now, this can be apparent if you just sit for 15 minutes, just in silence without any stimulus. There's so many different sensations going on inside, so many different thoughts in your head. And deep breathing can be really helpful. Try 6-3-6-3 breathing, where you inhale for 6 seconds, you hold for 3 seconds, you exhale through the mouth for 6 seconds, and you hold your breath for another 3 seconds. This can really help you relax and soothe yourself when there's a lot of sensations going on inside. And simply gradually start to increase the time that you're doing this every day. Even sitting with your sensations for 5 minutes a day at the beginning is a good practice. Now, step number 3. Once you learn to process the passive sensations when you're doing nothing, start to take small actions to gradually increase your comfort zone. When you're beginning, it's good practice to just sit with the sensations that are going on in the background. But as you start to get the grasp of this, you can start to take small actions outside your comfort zone to take your life forward. For example, if you're dealing with social anxiety, this might be talking with one foreign person every day. Or if you're dreaming of a career as a YouTuber, you can start publishing simple videos. But what's important is that you're taking action that you were previously avoiding, and every time processing the sensations that come up. And each time you let go of the sensations, your world starts to expand, slowly but surely. Now, the fourth step is to do this every day and make it into a daily ritual. Each time you let go of sensations, you become less and less stuck. Now, you won't achieve much change in one day, but if you can make it into a daily practice, then imagine what you can do in 5 years. Now, letting go has the power to completely transform your life, as it has done for me and many others. And step number 5 is to stop self-attacking and be more compassionate towards yourself. It's important to realize that being stuck isn't entirely your fault. After all, you didn't have the tools and resources before to start unstucking your life. And as it stands, self-attack is really the ego's way to keep you stuck even longer. It wants to make you feel guilty while it's running in the background, pulling all the strings. Now, the fact is, self-attack never leads to anything positive. The only outcome it can lead to is giving up and being stuck even longer in your life. So please be gentle towards yourself and be compassionate towards yourself, and don't self-attack for failure. So, to recap the 5 steps that you can start taking right now: learn to notice when you're in the autopilot mode. Learn to face the unpleasant sensations and processing them little by little. Start taking small actions to go outside your comfort zone make letting go a daily routine, and finally stop self-attacking for mistakes. Now, if you're really someone stuck in life, there's one more step you can take right now to increase your chances of being unstuck in your life in the future. Subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications. I'm going to publish many more videos about how to become unstuck in your life, and to maximize your chances, subscribe now and turn on the notifications. Also, if you found the video useful, don't forget to leave a like. Start applying these 5 techniques right away, read the books that I recommended, the links are in the description down below, and I'll see you in the next video.